Hi y'all, I'm Brittany, the mom and maker behind Ginger Patch Designs that I've run out of my home for the last 9 years, and I can honestly say I have made a ridiculous number of mistakes. If you're new here, I recently transitioned my hobby business to full-time in about the last year and a half, and of all the mistakes that I've made, here are the top 5 that I wish I had paid more attention to sooner. Also want to say a special thanks to Kittle for sponsoring this video. More on them in a minute. First off, I would have hired a CPA. I really don't think it matters how much revenue you're taking in as a hobby business or a very small business, you need a CPA. A CPA is going to take all of the guesswork out of anything associated with your taxes. They're going to tell you exactly what you need to do, X, Y, and Z, according to the laws of your state. They're going to know all of the appropriate deadlines that are associated with the type of business that you have. A CPA will help take a lot of the guesswork out with taxes, but they will also help you save a lot of money. And I don't just mean with the write-offs that you might not be thinking of, which is super handy, but I mean like really giving your finances and your budget a once over. I remember when I first got with a CPA, he really helped me take a look at like what was coming in versus what was going out, all of the overhead expenses, and just really from a bookkeeping perspective, help me get a better outline of what was going on financially in my business. And it was not financially healthy until I had a professional, sit down with me and really give me a better outline of what I was looking at for someone who doesn't have a bookkeeping background. I'm just going to say it, bookkeeping doesn't come naturally to everyone, and that's okay. And that's what you are paying for. A CPA is going to cover your financial rear end. Even if you are just a hobby business, like you don't know what the future holds. You don't know if you're going to continue being a hobby business or do it full time. So again, taking those steps now to make sure your business is financially healthy and set up the way it needs to be and should be so you don't run into some brick walls down the road, I highly recommend hiring a CPA. Some of you watching might already know about this next point, but I had no idea until just a few years ago. But tax-free business accounts on Amazon. You can use your personal Amazon account and link a business account to it. As long as you have a tax-exempt ID with your state, you can register for a business account and get all of your business expenses tax-free. It also makes it a lot easier when it comes to your bookkeeping side. You can just export all of those expenses from Amazon to help make that process easier. As a crafty business owner, I do understand that we can't get everything on Amazon, especially like designer fabric we want to use or specific tools that need to come directly from a company. I get it, but I do try to get as much as I can on Amazon. And you'd be surprised how much you can buy in bulk on Amazon as well. I don't know if anyone's ever told you, but there are different kinds of crafty, and one kind of crafty that I am not is graphic design. Which leads me to today's sponsor, which is Kittle. Kittle is a design platform that combines pro-level tools like vector editing, advanced text effects, ready-to-use templates, and workflows that allow you to create digital and print-ready designs quickly. With its innovative technology and AI integrations, Kittle can be your creative assistant, helping you with the visual aspects of your business. Smartboard tools that automate one idea into multiple designs, and vectorizers that can convert JPG or PNG files into SVG for custom editing options. For example, here I'm using their giant artboard feature that allows me plenty of space to create a custom design such as a pattern template. I can easily add unique details such as helpful graphics over the cut lines, text boxes that highlight necessary pattern directions, sizing test squares, and my logo. I also love that if I were to draw my own pattern templates by hand, I can also upload those images and manipulate them as needed on the artboard. Kittle's streamlined workflows make unique imaging or documents and aesthetic visibility for your business possible. Make sure to click the link in the description below to access 25% off your Kittle premium membership, including annual plans for new users. Third is prioritizing visibility as much as the product themselves. By visibility, I mean like the visibility of your business and what you offer and just you in general. I made this mistake for literally years because I didn't like posting on social media. I didn't want to bother people. I didn't like putting my face out there. I didn't like it. And so I just didn't. I would post pictures, beep boop boop. If people bought it, great. If not, oh, I'll just take it to markets, I guess. I was really shy and awkward about it, and it wasn't until I got over myself, I just got over it and did the hard thing and tried to focus more on visibility. I am still struggling with this. I'm still working on this, but I have noticed a huge shift in views and sales and just overall health of my business when I prioritized visibility as much as actually making the product. The fourth one is a sticky one, and I might step on some toes here, but again, I am truly just speaking from experience, and my goal is to encourage and to help you, make you aware of some things that you might not be aware of, and that is prioritizing passion over just what will sell. Obviously, yes, the goal is to either sell products or services to turn a profit. That is essentially why we have our businesses, is to make money. However, I was chasing what I thought would sell more than what I genuinely enjoyed making. You're going to be making a lot of whatever you choose to pursue, so you better love it. That's not to say we don't feel burned out, we don't need breaks, need to have other creative outlets, etc. But as handmade producers, if we don't really like what we're doing overall, we're not going to stick with it. I'm going to get real vulnerable here and give you a perfect example of this. So back in the spring, I made crochet kits. Right? I developed the pattern. I did the whole kit with all the materials that you need. There is a full video tutorial for these, and they're adorable. They are super stinking cute. And all of the samples of these that I made up like while I was developing the pattern went at the first market I took them to right away. People did not even ask how much they were. They're really stinking cute, right? And the people who did make the kits sent me pictures, some of them, and it was great. But I hated making the pattern. Like, I despised making a crochet pattern. Like, it just was not fun to me. Sewing patterns are a different story. However, as cute and adorable as these were, I despised the process. I was not passionate about it. I did it because I thought it was a good idea and I thought it would sell, and I'm still able to like teach a process, a crafty process to people. I'm sharing that to say, like, if you have negative feelings towards a product or something about your business relative to what you're selling, if it's a physical product or services, whatever it is, like, it's going to show, like, in subtle ways, it's going to show. Your customers or your viewers or whatever, like, they might not immediately pick up that you're not really into it, but something's just going to be off. But like, when you're passionate about something, it is really going to show. When you're really jazzed about a particular topic or a product or whatever, like, it's going to show. Your body language is different, your mannerisms are different, your whole tone and attitude is different. Your customers can tell when you're jazzed about something and when you're not. So what I learned from the crochet kits was that I do enjoy the teaching process and the video tutorials, because the sewing ones that I have done that I am jazzed about, people are really into. People were not as much into the crochet kits because, again, I don't think it was the quality of the product. I just wasn't jazzed about it. The last, and dare I say, close to most important point other than CPA is properly understanding the fiscal side of your business. I feel like, from what I've seen and other business owners have shared, this is like one of the top mistakes that we make. I've shared before how important it is to track your expenses. You don't need anything fancy. Just a simple Excel spreadsheet or a number spreadsheet, if you're using a Mac, will do the job. And you can easily Google like what kind of columns you need to have to just get something started. This is going to save your financial behind later down the road. Again, it doesn't matter if you're a small side hustle, hobby business, or you're looking to grow. It doesn't matter. You've got to track your expenses. It's so important. Some other super important ones that I'm going to keep reading off of my laptop because I don't want to misspeak, they're so important, is calculating profit margins and material cost. There are calculators online that you can find, but I made this mistake for years. I completely skipped the process of calculating how much fabric I was using in this part, or weighing out how much yarn I'm using in this giant dragon that I'm making, which ended up being almost 2 skeins of blanket yarn. I didn't know because I didn't weigh it. And so not calculating those costs led me to wasting money. I was basing my prices based on what other people were selling them at and what I thought people would pay for them in my area. Now, the caveat to that is, after you calculate your profit margins and your material cost, you do need to consider if you're selling like in person at markets or something in your area, you do need to consider what people in your area will pay for, especially if you're in a rural area versus in a bigger city. That definitely plays a role. But you don't know what that looks like if you don't do the cost analysis. Investing money to further the business versus wasting money. I'm so guilty of this because crafty people especially, I think I can speak for all of us when we say we love the doodads, we love the gadgets, we love the tools, and we just think we have to have it. And if you are a yarny person or a fabric person, I do validate hoarding here on my channel. However, I also validate financial responsibility, which doesn't really go together. But this comes back to tracking your expenses in a spreadsheet or in QuickBooks or an app, whatever you're using, and really being real with yourself. Over the last year, I have been taking a lot of steps to really grow and expand my business, which means paying for certain things that are a monthly recurring expense. And I've had to tighten the budget and say no to things that I kind of want, and it would be nice to have and convenient to do certain things, or some of them truly are just wants, but I don't need them, and I have to be responsible if I want to reach my goals. I will also add that prioritizing must-have expenses over wants. For example, I just purchased this is a straight stitch brother sewing machine recently. I was not intending to spend $1,000 on a new machine. That was not in the fall plans whatsoever. That was a huge expense for me. However, it was a necessary expense. Sewing is the bread and butter of my business, and my other machine was not doing well at all. But because I had tracked expenses, I had moved money to various accounts consistently, I had business savings in place where I could afford to buy that. Where if I had not been tracking my expenses, I had not been financially responsible, that could have really been a big hit for my business. And what I just shared about business savings leads me to my last point on properly understanding the fiscal side of the business, and that is properly managing your funds. So when all the revenue's coming in, I have a business savings, a business expense account, a business tax account, and a personal account, like my personal account that I've always had with my husband. Now, I am absolutely no expert. I still make mistakes on the financial side of my business, right? But separating the money into accounts with different specific purposes has been really helpful for me. The way my brain works, it's a lot easier to separate all the monies than to have them lumped into one or two accounts and just guesstimate how much I have for each portion of the pie and the budget. I hope that you were able to take away some positive points from this and it was helpful and encouraging to you on your journey, wherever that is for you. Folks, if you like sewing crafty content or other small business things, make sure you like and subscribe this video so you don't miss more crafty content. I'm Brittany and I will see you later, friends. Bye.